Hey guys, it's been a while since I've checked in. Haven't had any new videos to upload recently, just because mostly everything that I've bought has sort of already come out, weeks before. There's been plenty of reviews all over YouTube. Not much really for me to add when there's so many great reviewers out there doing video reviews of all the new figures coming out. But finally I've got some new additions, and look, I've reorganized my shelf and got things out of boxes, and I think it's time for a little collection update. So this video is just going to be a little quick recap of how my collection's going, what's new, what's rearranged, where things are and what my plans are. And hopefully you find it at least interesting or entertaining, or you get inspired to buy some figs that you didn't think you were going to buy. So up here, look, the top shelf is still basically a multiverse or dark multiverse shelf. You still have the Snyder and Capullo Batman there with the Dark Knight's team. No real changes, except I have added the Robin King from the Death Metal line. That's the one which had the Dark Father Builder figure. Look, I haven't got any other figures from that wave. I really do want the Dark Father, but none of the other figures really speak to me. Like Death Metal Superman's not my jam. Death Metal Wonder Woman is awesome, but I just can't justify getting her. Yeah, it's a really tough one. And of course, the other figure in that wave, was this guy here, Death Metal Batman, but he came with the guitar instead of the scythe. And I think the single pack figure with the scythe is so much better than the Build-A-Fig wave version. So that's the version I have. So yeah, that's really all that's going on here. You'll see I have added here my White Knight Joker and my White Knight Batman with the White Knight Bat Cycle. Right next to the Death Metal Bat Cycle. Look, they don't really go here, but for space reasons, that's sort of where they fit, and I think they look pretty awesome. I think these two are actually some of the most underrated figures in the whole range. Like, they are just amazing, and they're fun to play with, and they've just got such a unique look. I mean, look how great that looks. Look at the detail on that belt. You'll see here I've got the Jack Napier head on Joker's hand. I don't know why I did that. I just like it. You'll see up the top here, I've got Infected Batman, or Batman Who Laughs, Infected Superman, Duke Thomas, Joker Dragon, and in the back there, we have the Hellbat suit Batman. He's there, not because he fits in, but that's just the best place I could find to store that big boy with his wings extended. So yeah, that's my Dark Multiverse shelf. It's a pretty cool shelf. It takes up a lot of room. Yeah, sooner or later, something's going to give. I'm going to have to rearrange it. And I saw they've just announced a new Batrocitus figure, which of course is the mixture or the version of Batman who's blended with Atrocitus. Looks awesome. I'm going to have to find room for him somewhere. So yeah, that's the Dark Multiverse shelf. The next shelf is, it's gone through a lot of changes. So right at the start, you can see I've got some big figs, mega figs here. We've got Swamp Thing. He's amazing. He's on a stand. That's why he's so tall. Clayface. And my newest acquisition is Man-Bat, who looks absolutely amazing. I don't love those wings though. They don't extend. So his posing ability is pretty weak. And also his ankles are so weak. They can barely hold his weight unless you pose him just so. So yeah, he looks great, but kind of not that much fun to play with. But I'm really glad I got him, and I think he looks rad. So yeah, really love those mega figures. This shelf I kind of call my Justice League and Bat Family shelf, or maybe you could call it a Rebirth shelf, because there's a lot of Rebirth heroes and villains here. I kind of save this for the more classic comic versions of characters, and there are some exceptions to that, but that's sort of the idea behind this shelf. So here you see I've got the Bat Family with Tim Drake, Robin, and the Three Jokers Batman, who I think the Three Jokers Batman is probably the best Bat Family Batman because he's one of the biggest. So it creates an appropriate sense of scale. Like, you see that he's one of the bigger Batman. Damian looks very small compared to him. So does Tim, so does Barbara and Dick, Jason. And so it kind of gives him the proper scale he deserves, I think. And McFarlane is not always consistent on scale. So I think that just works really, really well. So that's my Bat Family. You see Dick, Jason, and the Michael Lane version of Azrael. Then you've kind of got this, I call it sort of the anti-hero shelf. Jason and Azrael could probably be there too, but you've got Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman, still probably up there with my favorite Batman figures. Grifter, who probably wins the award for figure that I know the least about the character, but like the figure, like he's just amazing. One of the best figures in the line. Barely know anything about the actual character itself, but I just love it. Really fun, just a great 90s look. And there's Ghostmaker, who I quite like, and the 3 Jokers up the back. I kind of regret getting all 3 of these guys. I think I could have settled for just the Comedian, who's like clearly the best of the lot. The Clown is good too. The Criminal's a bit lame, but once you've got 2, you might as well get 3. So yeah, that's that side of the shelf. And on this side of the shelf, I've started a Justice League collection. Now this is interesting because we still don't have the full Justice League in their classic Rebirth costumes. We are missing classic Rebirth comic Wonder Woman, and that's just mystifying to me. I suppose they're just stringing it out to keep collectors engaged, and okay, I'm sure that'll work out. I look forward to that, but at the moment I've got the Todd McFarlane designed gold label variant Wonder Woman. I think she actually looks pretty good. I think the colors here are better than the non-gold label Todd McFarlane version, with the red and the gold and that's hint of blue. I think the shield looks amazing. I think the lasso here, so in the non-gold label version, the lasso is looped and you put it on her belt. This one, it's a like full action pose. It's like a really great accessory. She also comes with a sword that's not pictured. So I think she makes an appropriate stand-in Wonder Woman. Then you've got Rebirth Batman, Rebirth Superman, John Stewart Green Lantern. Now, I didn't go with Hal Jordan, 1, because I don't have him, and 2, because I kind of feel like I'm waiting for the Parallax version of Hal Jordan for my display. I think Hal's going to be a bad guy in my display, and I think that figure looks amazing. If you haven't seen pictures online, go look it up. Yeah, Parallax, I think is exclusive to Walmart in the US. He looks amazing. So yeah, John Stewart's my Green Lantern of choice. Up here, you've got Martian Manhunter and Aquaman, look pretty good. Now, Flash, I kind of missed out on Rebirth Flash. I didn't get him. He's now very expensive, so I went with Injustice Flash. And I know heaps of people hate this figure. I actually quite like it. I actually think he kind of fits in with the aesthetic of the rest, especially these other sort of Rebirth comic figures. I think he actually fits in. And I kind of feel like the Rebirth Flash maybe looks a little bit cartoony. That's pretty controversial because that's a great figure. But I kind of feel like this works. I feel like this doesn't clash. I don't have a problem with it. So he'll be my Flash for now. I might upgrade in the future if I can get a Rebirth Flash somehow. But yeah, we'll see. And up the back here, we have some Superman, Batman villains. And Flash villains. We've got Godspeed, who is amazing. Like one of the best speedster figures McFarlane has done. The suit's really amazing. The texture's amazing. Reverse Flash, using that same basic Flash speedster buck that McFarlane's used a few times now. But I think he just looks really crazy in that yellow color scheme, and the head sculpt is just really full of like nasty personality. So he's kind of like a must-have. Lobo, again, one of those characters I know very little about, except he's like a sometimes villain of Superman, but the figure itself is amazing. He's huge, he's beefy, he's got great sculpted detail. I think he's huge, huge fun. Highly recommended if you can get him. Up the back, we have some classic baddies. We have Death of the Family Joker, probably my favorite Joker figure, next to the Comedian. Yeah, no complaints about that one. We have General Zod, who is a really cool figure, except I just feel like his face, like if you look at his face, it's just so like bland. He should be snarling, he should be more angry, but like the rest of him is pretty cool. And here I've got Darkseid War Lex Luthor in his power suit. Not my preferred version of Lex Luthor. I would have preferred the green power suit version, but this guy comes with the Throne of Apocalypse, so I kind of had to get this version. And it's kind of like having Darkseid and Lex Luthor in one figure. And until they come out with a proper comics Darkseid, he'll kind of fit that bill for me, representation for Apocalypse. So yeah, that is kind of my like comic shelf, Justice League, Bat Family. It's a bit of a mishmash, but it's probably my favorite shelf, I would say. Yeah, and so finally we have the mishmash shelf. Now this is a work in progress. There are more figures to come here. I need to get another set of acrylic steps there to put more figures on. I need to figure out what's going to go on down here, but yeah, work in progress shelf. So far you can see that the left half is devoted to the Arkham universe figures. The only real new addition here is Killer Croc, who is so cool. I love him. Mine has a really loose left arm. That's his sort of claw arm there. It sort of swings around. If I was to touch that now, it'd just like swing on its hinge and its joint and collapse. So Bit disappointing there, so I won't touch him. And the other disappointment is that his mouth doesn't open and shut. The articulated jaw would have gone a long way to giving him some posing options, some snarling, some roaring. But overall, like if you look at the scale of him, he's not as big as Titan Joker, but he towers over Batman. He's really awesome. Arkham Knight Deathstroke, Arkham Knight Batman, and Arkham Asylum Joker are all pretty good figures. I'm going to get the new Rebirth Deathstroke because I really love that classic design, but I was going to sell this one. I don't think I will. I actually think this design has merit. I think it's unique enough and it deserves sort of a place in the collection. Titan Joker, again, not one of my favorite mega figures, but he's just so big. And like him or not, he's sort of an iconic part of Arkham Asylum. So I'm going to keep him. I look forward to adding some new figures to this section soon. For example, Scarecrow from Arkham Knight looks amazing. Red Hood from Arkham Knight looks amazing too. So yeah, a couple of new figures to add to that section soon. I'm going to get some steps, pose them appropriately. Watch this space. But yeah, they're the Arkham figures. And over here are the rest. Now, this at the moment is kind of what I'm calling like the specific comic or Elseworlds shelf. So, you know, you've got here Omega and Bruce Wayne from Last Night on Earth. Sorry, yeah, Batman Last Night on Earth, the Snyder Capallo sort of Elseworlds tale with the Joker head in the jar. They sort of represent that storyline. You've got Terry McGinnis and Blight up here, from obviously representing Batman Beyond. Down there you've got Mortal Kombat Joker, who I kind of want to get rid of. He's really cool, but I just don't have a place for him anymore. He's taking up too much room. If anyone's interested, hit me up. At the back here we have Dark Knight Returns, Batman versus Superman, White Knight, Azrael in bat armor versus Batman on that really cool fiery display stand. Got the Dark Detective Bruce Wayne. Love him, very cool figure. We've got Dark Knight Returns, Joker and Batman. That Batman's one of my favorite of all time. I think he's absolutely awesome. Joker, he's cool. The face is all wrong, as I've said. And then we have, Batman and Hush 2-pack, which, I've got to have Hush in my collection. I've got to have Batman from Hush in my collection. I don't love either of these figures that much. Batman's face is just too snarly. You'll notice that this is the version with fixed elbows. So this is the version that came out, I believe, in Asia and Australia with the proper elbows. The American version, or the first run version, seems to have black hinge and elbows, which is just wrong. And I think it's a factory error, a real bummer for those who can't get their hands on this version. But yeah, that's what he looks like with corrected elbows. But I just don't like his face. And I don't like the batarangs. And Hush, is just a huge disappointment. The head sculpt is okay. I think the single version is better. That jacket is closed. It should be open. I want to see all the detail on his body. He should have holsters. He should have guns. The jacket is just one solid block of color. It's got great detail, but I think it's the wrong color and I think it needs more detail. The stand is really cool. Love the grave. So a mixed bag for that, but I had to have Hush and Batman. So there you go. So yeah, this is sort of the Elseworlds one-shot Arkham the rest shelf. A lot of work to be done, but as it stands, that is the collection. So yeah, I looking forward to getting the Build-A-Figure Atrocitus wave, which is coming out any minute here. I should get it next week. That'll be awesome. And of course, I'm gonna have to figure out a storage solution for the rest of the great figures that are coming out this year. Mega Figure Bane, no idea where I'm gonna put him, but you know, that's a tomorrow problem. So yeah, thanks for joining me and hope to speak to you guys soon.